the starting five. Who you kidding? Yeah, it's your mans and them. It's your mans and them.
You are now watching Your Mans and Them Live. I'm your man's Gus III.
I'm your man's Bello.
I'm your man's Austin Felix.
I'm your man's Kyrie.
And I'm your man Shakespeare.
And this is Your Mans and Them Live.
Yeah, I thought he was going to deal with the sour.
Where black people talk about black things.
Black
Sour.
issues.
Oh,
And sour.
sour, baby.
Yeah, you know what you should do? You should change it every time. You should have a new thing every time. And this is Your Mans and Them Live, where 5 guys give
Wow.
it to you
Hey, yo.
the right way.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
This nigga
You
new
went
fantasy.
Nah, you really should. That would be funny as hell.
I don't think so.
I go to the writer's board and figure some things out.
That's a good idea, but I don't like what you said, Drew.
Nah, I think what I said
That
was
was- That was some nasty work.
Mm-mm.
How y'all been, though? How y'all been? What's going on, guys? I haven't seen y'all in a minute. What's up, man? I miss y'all.
Still working
Been
from
good,
home, man.
chilling.
Let's all speak at the same time.
Yo, I feel like a lot of people are outside these days. I see people with no mask on and all of that. Like, they comfortable.
That mask shit was been out the window.
Really?
I think so. Like during the protests, how many people did we see? There was a lot of people with masks, but they didn't even really have their mask on. Like they had their mask under their chin and stuff like that.
It got hot.
They
Oh,
got
they got
hot.
hot.
Exactly. They breath got hot.
I ate tuna fish today and I put my mask on. Bro, almost killed myself. Right.
You fucked up when you ate tuna fish. That's what the problem was.
This nigga don't like fish.
Yeah, man.
When I like fish.
Y'all all eat tuna fish?
Enough, Drew.
Hell yeah.
No. Kyrie, how you doing over there?
Yo, Kyrie looking depressed, down and out.
I'm chilling.
Somebody get this man a shot of espresso.
You could use a sick day, bro. It's all good.
That's on me.
What bridge is that called?
7:30, huh?
What bridge is that called?
The
Golden Gate.
fuck up bridge.
The what? I didn't even hear you. I didn't hear you.
You can look it up.
I can hear you. What?
I said you can look it up. It's called the Golden Gate Bridge.
Okay, I'll check it out later. Okay, so on today's program, we're going to be talking about many things. One thing, what's the number one, guys? What's the first thing we're going to be talking about, guys?
We never introduced a show like that. Well, I'll start now.
I thought we was going to change it up every show, like Drew said.
Nah, not that. I was talking about the intro.
All right, so let's get back into business, you know what I mean? What we going to do, you know what I mean? What we talking about?
What y'all want to talk about first, man?
Man
There's
bun.
there's a lot of shit going. Nigga said man, but there's a lot of shit going on.
Anyway, so the NBA season is supposed to be coming back. and apparently they want to play in Orlando, but most players feel because of what's going on in the world today, as far as the George Floyd, to Breonna Taylor, all the protesting that's going on, they feel that they should focus more on the social issues instead of
Just speed up your
playing
Not lagged.
basketball. Probably like a little bit. Instead of instead of playing basketball, they should focus on social issues.
Yeah.
But they want the NBA to also have a plan for those issues. Let's talk about it. What do you think? Kyrie, we'll start with you since you have the same name as the guy that has the issue.
I agree with him. I don't feel like they should be rushing to go back. I mean, I feel like he's not forcing anybody. And one of the things I don't like is he's getting negative press from a lot of like ex-players, Kendrick Perkins.
Oh boy.
You know, more so Kendrick Perkins. I don't know if he got a vendetta against Kyrie. It feel like it, but he's like calling him out, you know, and a lot of people are feeling like saying like he's not being genuine and, you know, stuff like that. But I feel like he makes a valid point and I respect him because at the end of the day, people, when they watch sports, it's really sometimes to take away from their daily lives of what's going on. And it's that, you know, entertainment for that time being to get their minds off of what's going on in the real world. And he has a point. Like, You know, if
But
you don't want to play basketball, if you want to play basketball, it's up to you. If you don't, then you don't.
what some people are saying is that what the Stephen A's and the Matt Barnes and Kendrick Perkins are saying, they are saying that they should use the platform as far as playing to reach a broader audience, so they can reach, because the NBA is a global sport, so they feel that they would be able to reach more people as they play. But me personally, I feel like the stoppage of play would be more effective. Would be more like, it's like the bus boycotts. When they stopped taking the bus, it forced the people of Montgomery to make a decision about the whole Rosa Parks situation and where Black people sit on the bus. So the stoppage of play could have a big effect on this issue. But Bello, what do you think?
Let me ask you this: what is the goal in all of this? What's the goal in not playing?
The goal.
What are you trying to achieve by not playing?
So first of all, I think one of the things Kyrie highlighted, Avery Bradley highlighted, and Dwight Howard highlighted was the fact that owners, there are 32 owners, only 2 owners have stepped up and said something. You employ about a good 80% of your athletes are Black, yet you don't have a stand on the issue. That's one thing. Another thing is, Kyrie Irving said it, like, a lot of people feel oppressed. This is a oppressive situation. Like, at the end of the day, we're going out to play basketball to make everybody feel better about what's going on in the world, and people are going to lose focus on the matter at hand. So he wants to deviate basketball so that we can make progress on what we're doing right now. So I think that's a goal. I don't think he wants to stop playing basketball forever, but he does it. The goal is to make sure we're keeping on the issues at hand.
I feel like they're rushing to play. I feel like they're rushing to play just to get money back into the economy.
Oh yeah, big facts.
And they're risking the health because there still is a virus out there that no one has, any cure for or anything for it. So it's like the risk to save the economy over. I'm not even thinking about because this is before the whole protest and the Black Lives Matter and that whole movement. The NBA went out because of this virus. So
True.
it's basically adding to it. It's like right now, the focus of everyone is Black Lives Matter, COVID-19. NBA is like, hey, we need to make our money somehow. True. And I don't know if y'all probably know, are they giving the players the option?
Yeah, some players do have the option not to play.
Yeah, they do.
But they're not going to get their check.
They're not getting paid.
Which is the fucked up part.
And it's going to affect their salary for the next year. Like, it's going to affect their overall contract, too.
They're forcing them to play.
Some players are affected more than others. Somebody like a Kyrie Irving who has a lot of endorsements deals wouldn't have to necessarily worry about an NBA check.
Right.
Now, somebody like a rookie, say like a rookie who just came into the league, who may not have the endorsement deals and bigger platforms, they may be more so affected by not getting a check. So you got to think about that. But another question,
the NBA should cut them their check, even if they don't play.
True. I mean, they did sign a contract saying that they would, get that money.
Yeah.
But we don't know if this was nobody expected this to happen, this pandemic.
Exactly.
So I don't think that this is in a contract that if a pandemic happens, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't in the contract. Nobody expected it to happen. So I feel like they should still get paid.
Trust me, a lot of not outside of the NBA, this pandemic affected a lot of things. Courts, people court dates were pushed. You think you're not even getting a court date. The DMV was shut down. They basically said if your registration or inspection expires, they'll let you know when you could get it. Right now, if you got an expired plate or expired stickers, you good, right? And I'm pretty sure they didn't want to do that. companies are taking hits and making adjustments. It's like the NBA is not trying to do that right now. Companies went out, they closed all their stores, and they still paid their employees.
True.
Yeah. I don't see the
Like-
point. I don't see the point in continuing it myself. I really don't. I feel
Yeah,
like
it's-
just
it's
start
a
the
team-
season over next year. Because whoever wins this shit, did they really win? Like, does it really count?
There's an asterisk next to the
Exactly.
to the, next to the to the
Even if my
championship.
team, even if a team that I wanted to win won, does it really count? Like this year is
Exactly.
not gonna matter. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the players have the choice to do what they want.
But I had a
right
question.
either way.
I had a question. So let's take it to the NFL, right? Let's say if all the players would have stopped playing when Kaepernick, at the peak of all this, at the peak of him kneeling and all that, they would have stopped playing. Do you think that would have had a big impact on the NFL?
Yes.
Definitely.
I feel like people don't realize how numbers really affect. Like, numbers have such a huge effect on everything. If one person does it, two people do it, it's like, hey, we're on a team of like 50 fucking people, bro. If this whole team said, this is what we're going to do and we're going to stand together and do it, what the owner going to say? I don't want none of y'all to play. That ain't going to work out for him.
Yeah.
No,
You
not
can't
at all.
do that. So I feel like people, I'm pretty sure there was like messages being passed around like, oh, you'll be benched if you do it, or you blah, blah, blah. You can't bench the whole team. But nobody,
true.
they all didn't stand up for each other, which was kind of, it's like they didn't see the bigger picture the way Collins saw it.
True. Very
So
disappointing.
now in this moment, it's like, y'all should see the fucking picture. Like it's
Everybody
clear
wants
as day.
to know. Everybody wants to know.
Right. So it's
thought-
like, y'all all got to stand up now. It's like, don't let two people take the knee. Don't let three people take the knee. Y'all all do it together. Like they can't do nothing about that. If they all stop, they all stop.
I think it's
right.
I think it's unfortunate. I think my last point is I think it's unfortunate when
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people, us black people who look, us people of color, somebody goes against the grain like Kyrie and says something different, and when we antagonize him, I feel like it's kind of unfortunate because then you're just basically giving those people who don't want to hear about the issues at hand fuel to just be like, see, he's right, don't do it.
Yeah, it makes his point. It kind of makes his point invalid.
Yeah, it's like, if you don't, I feel like at this type of situations, if you don't agree with the situation as a person of color, just don't say nothing.
But here's my thing.
I don't know if I agree with that.
But think about it. You understand that a good portion of people who are white usually don't agree with abnormal protesting or protesting that doesn't make them feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Like what Kyrie Irving's doing. If you go on Twitter, you should see the names he's getting called and shit like that. When people who look like us, or black men or black women, or people who speak out against situations like that, it only makes it seem like, it only basically says like, okay, well, yeah, look, you see what they're saying, you should do what they say.
Yeah, I get that, but I also think that you're entitled to do what you feel is best for you and your family and what you feel like is best for you. So LeBron saying that he wants to play, I don't think that it should be like LeBron versus Kyrie. I think LeBron made a decision that he wants to play, and Kyrie made a decision that he didn't want to play. Are we gonna sit there and say LeBron is not credible because he wants to play? No.
I'm not saying that LeBron's wrong for playing. I'm not saying anybody's wrong. I'm just saying if you don't agree with it, what's the point of like mentioning it? Not even LeBron. I just feel like people who are just going out their way to chastise Kyrie because that's my point.
Yeah,
it's not even
like the media.
If somebody asks you, okay, like, are you gonna play? If you're gonna play, you're gonna play. Like, nobody's forcing people not to play, but there's no reason why you have to go out your way and be like, that's crazy, da 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 da. Like, you're only adding more fuel to the fire to people who just don't want to.
So how do you feel about big names
This guy-
calling out other big names.
What do you
Like,
mean?
how do you feel about celebrities calling out other celebrities? Like, hey, you're not saying anything, or hey,
Like No Name calling out J.
Yes,
Cole.
there we go.
yeah,
You should ask Drew that question. I think we're deriving to the topic at hand.
Perfect
yes, right.
transition.
How do you
Gus, take
feel
notes.
how do you feel about that? Do you feel like
That was a
do you feel like it's appropriate to pressure other people to say something or step up or make a statement?
I think everybody has the right to feel how they feel and to say what they want to say. But when it comes to that situation, I do feel like
What's that
For-
situation?
the No Name situation.
Can you clarify for the audience out there that may or may not know?
So Austin gets to talking Coles, but I gotta clarify the shit. That's what you
I
saying.
didn't
I'm
touch
just,
Cole.
I'm just messing with
He
you.
did the transition, so now you
So,
gotta ease
all
us.
right, so
Clean it
basically,
up. Drew Cole.
J. Cole dropped the track yesterday or 2 days ago, basically responding to a rapper who I had never heard about. Her name is No Name.
Facts.
Nah, she's
And-
fine. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That shade, Drew? Drew, was that
She's
shade?
fine.
No,
She's
what?
fine. She's fine.
She
fine.
probably is. I just never heard her. I
She
just
is.
never knew who that person was before this. And that's what people are telling me the same thing. They didn't know who she was. She's not a big artist. She's gonna be big now. But anyway, so she had posted a tweet a couple of weeks ago, and she came out and she said something about how the top rappers are your top favorite rappers are not saying much of anything right now. They're staying silent in times like this. I don't know the whole tweet. If anybody wants to pull it up, but J. Cole dropped a song responding to that. And if y'all want to go listen to the song, I'm talking to the audience. Y'all could listen to the song. But basically what I got from it was that he was saying that he didn't feel like it was fair to be criticized for being silent because he felt like he wasn't educated enough to speak on a situation at that particular time, which I feel like is fine. I also feel like it's okay for her to feel like you guys are the top of the rap. You guys are the top rappers right now. You should be talking about this. You should be saying something. You should be talking about it. I get both sides, but I understand what Cole is saying. Not because I'm a fan.
Because you like Cole.
But don't you? All right, let me ask you this: haven't you ever had a conversation with someone, and when they know more about the particular subject that they're talking about, they kind of make you feel like not less of a person, but like stupid almost. Like I know this, I know that, I'm moving this way, but you don't know. You kind of don't know. Like, what are you doing for this situation?
Yeah.
You feel me?
It depends. It depends though. Are you telling me in a braggadocious way, or are you telling me to educate me? Because if you're telling me to educate me, then I don't have no choice but to sit back and learn. I don't have no choice but to sit back and learn and soak in the information that I'm getting. Now, if you're being braggadocious, like, oh, I'm doing this and I know that, and blah, blah, I probably don't want to hear it because it's not coming off as just genuinely trying to teach me.
Right. Let me pull up the tweet.
There's different ways to do it. Like, are you going to take the time to teach someone how to do something, or are you just going to rub it in their face that they don't know?
And that's what Cole said on the track. He was saying, like, you educate me, talk to me about it. Like, you're basically going against the same people that you should be trying to help. But that's what I got from it.
J. Cole got Google, right?
Huh?
J. Cole has Google, right?
J. Cole has Google?
Yeah, he can educate himself. I see both sides.
But if my fault, Austin, go ahead.
No, it's all right. You know, I'm just used
I
to
ain't saying that.
I'm used to this.
Oh, my fault, Curry.
Oh, you talking to Austin? Austin didn't even say that.
No, I thought Austin said
Yo,
something.
Gus, you kind of making me uncomfortable just sitting there silently, weirdly,
looking like security.
Yeah, like
that's how I was laughing.
How you feel? How you feel, Gus?
You're sitting there.
From the information I gathered between these two right here, I see both sides of it. I don't think that he was right to critique what she's doing. Like, everybody have their own way of spreading information. They have their own way to protest.
I'm
At the same
I'm
time,
sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry to cut you off. Her critique came first. Her critique came
Can I finish?
first.
I'm finished.
All right, because you can't be mad at how somebody responds. That's all I'm saying.
I understand that too. She was wrong. She was wrong too. But at the same time, did she directly call J. Cole out?
So this is what she said. She said, poor black folks all over the country are putting their bodies on the line in protest for our collective safety, and y'all favorite top-selling rappers not even willing to put a tweet up. Niggas' whole discographies be about black plight and nowhere to be found.
Was she talking about J. Cole?
Who are the top-selling rappers right now?
Talk
Talk about top-selling. We
Does
talk about
J. Cole talk about black plight?
J. Cole said he
Yes.
felt like it was directed towards him.
But that's his own. That was his own view of it. That was his own perspective. Obviously, I think she was talking about him, but I feel like he took that because he probably felt that she was talking about him.
And at the end of the song, he said that he felt guilty because he felt like he could have been doing more. He wasn't doing enough. So he acknowledges the fact that it was more of a if the shoe fits type of thing.
That's why he responded, because he was insecure.
Possibly.
It's not an insecure thing.
Possibly.
He basically said
Insecurity? I wouldn't say it's an insecure thing. I wouldn't say so.
Guilt. I would call
because
it guilt more than
he-
anything.
I wouldn't say insecurity because I feel like personally he showed up to a protest. Kendrick was at a protest.
Yeah,
You saw
and
Drake at a protest?
they were.
Wait, how long ago?
Nobody
Did,
called Drake at.
how
but-
long ago did she put the tweet when? By the time he went and he protested, I think she put the tweet out before he protested.
Yeah, she did. She put this tweet out June 17th, 2020.
Wait, she put the. Wait, what?
Oh no, I'm bugged.
He pro-
That's when they posted this.
J. Cole protested before. J. Cole protested before that.
No. June was yesterday. June 17th was yesterday. I don't know when the tweet came out.
Why she? I don't know, but it's just nigga just blacked out. But I feel like her statement is like it's not a positive statement. Like right now, you should be spreading light and positivity. I feel like trying to pull people down or try to shine the light on people who are quiet. Like I feel like that's a cheap shot. Like
I agree.
He's not the only one who's been doing that.
yeah,
Though.
that's why I asked the
I can say,
question
like,
about
even like
overall. Like that's
'cause
why I asked overall.
I can say overall, I think on my timeline, even regular people were saying, you look at your favorite celebrities, what are they doing? Look at the people that you admire, what are they doing? They ain't saying nothing. A lot of people were saying, pay attention to the people that you support. Look at their actions.
Men and women.
She could have said that out of like spite and or just pure honesty. Like, yo, this is the people that you worship or the people that you support and all that. And we need full support. We need people to be vocal. I don't see anybody that you support or look at the people that they're not being vocal. Like, what do you got to say about that?
How do you feel
Point it
about
out.
individual? How do you feel? Not her case, but how do you feel about it in the whole, Gus? Like, do you feel like it's a negative push or a positive push?
No, I think that I think it's a negative push or positive push. I think that she's calling people out, and I think that could be taken in a negative.
I said don't talk about her. You said you seen it all on the timelines, everything, right? I'm not talking about her case specifically. I'm talking about in general because there's people who are calling out, like we said earlier, people are calling out basketball owners, NFL owners, sports analysts are doing that. There's people who are calling out actresses, actors. There's people calling, like, there's this big thing about calling out on people, getting them to say something.
Right.
How do you feel about people taking that action?
I think that I don't have no problem with it. Granted that when you call somebody out, what they may say may not be genuine because you called them out. But shit, they should be called out.
Why do you feel like just because the person is not all on Twitter, all on Instagram, posting stuff and doing that doesn't mean that they're not doing something behind the scenes. So how can you call somebody out
Look
and
at
say
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z don't even got a gram. Cole, when all the when the rioting was happening before, fuck, who did they riot? Not riot, who protesting? Who did they protest for before? A couple years ago. I can't remember. And then he was at the Flint protest. Like, Cole's been known to do this. Kendrick dropped a whole album talking about all this shit.
He
Like, we
definitely
know
did.
we know where those rappers stand. So for you to be like, oh, why are you not typing on Twitter? Why are you not being vocal? Like, it's okay. I understand it, but at the same time, shift that energy towards something else. You don't got to shift it towards our own people. You feel me?
So do you think, based on, because I heard her diss track, seemed like she was surprised.
Diss track?
Yeah, she made a diss track, right?
What?
Yeah, she did.
When?
I didn't know that.
Talking about this.
We were just playing it. I just played it.
Talking about this.
I didn't know she did a diss track.
Well, in the diss track, it seemed like she was surprised that J. Cole responded. So the question, I don't know if you guys asked this, but the clear question is, when she wrote this thing, was it malicious to call out specifically J. Cole, Kendrick, or whatever, or did she make a broad statement?
I think
She made a broad statement.
I think she was venting.
Okay.
You know what's crazy about this? She could have probably she could have probably not even been talking about Cole. Like, in her head, she could have probably not even had Cole in her mind.
But the thing is, once you put out a broad statement, like Drew said before, if the shoe fits, wear it. So anybody who feels that they're grouped into that category, you can't be surprised if they respond to it, because now you just group them.
Yeah.
But let me say this. But don't you feel like that's J. Cole being insecure? Because if you're secure about something, you wouldn't speak about it if you knew it wasn't pertaining to you.
No, that's not true. That's not true at all. I don't feel like he's insecure for that. But if you say the top rappers and he's sure of himself that he's a top rapper, some of your favorite top rappers. So if he's sure of himself that he's one of those top rappers, and he says what he said, and in all honesty, I don't feel it was a diss. I feel like it was more of a like, look, you said this, but I need to correct you.
But he don't have to.
Now, if I feel like I'm a top rapper and I feel like you're grouping me in that category of people who are not out there doing stuff, then I'm gonna say something.
I mean, I hear that, but I feel like if I know the shoe doesn't fit for me and I know what I've been doing, I'm not gonna give you the light of day.
That's the thing. He
said
that he felt guilty about it. So
Okay,
it's not an insecure. That's not what you will call an insecurity. That's a
I don't
guilt.
think it's insecure.
It's a guilt. He already felt in his heart like, I should probably be out here, and he kind of talks about it in the song where he says, I felt like I'm a slave who racked up enough coins to buy myself out of slavery. He's living a whole life. He got 2 kids. Not saying that's an excuse, but he has his own different life. So he said, I'm feeling guilty right now, which is probably why I'm responding to this shit. That's how he ended it off.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't think anybody's wrong in this situation. I definitely got to listen to that diss track though. I didn't even know. I've never even heard a song from this woman.
It wasn't that long, Drew. It was like 8. It was like a minute and 10 seconds.
In all honesty, bro, I thought they was talking in code, trying to protect whoever he was talking about. I'm like, who the fuck is No Name? Why everybody saying No Name? Then I'm like,
That's
I see somebody. I'm like, oh shit.
No Name is a person.
And I'm like, who the fuck is No Name?
Yo, her shit going up now. For real.
Oh, yeah,
Anybody who come at Cole and you nice, your shit go up. Look at YBN Cordae. He came at Cole, he blew up like something crazy.
That's because Cole responded. Don't forget that. It's because Cole responded.
He responded to YBN Cordae?
I don't know who that is, but
YBN Cordae,
he responded to No Name.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, you can't listen to Uncle Murder all the time, Austin. Okay? You gotta get out of Brooklyn sometime and listen to something else.
Listen, man. The music movement is moving too fast for me.
All right, man. Let's transition into this main topic.
Wait, add a question. Add a question before you transition into the main topic.
What? What's your question?
How do you feel about all the companies and like all the companies now saying they support, black people, they stand with black people? Is it more so to save face, or is it a change of heart? Me personally, I feel like it's a save face. But I need to know your opinion.
I think it's a safe face. I think it's a good business strategy. And whether they is it genuine? I don't think it's genuine. I think it's all about business, to be honest with you. I think that they have people, the higher ups ain't really touching this. It's the marketing team that is, and your marketing team is probably young, and they probably like, yo, this is what we should do for the business. This is why they got hired for that position, and they doing it to, make sure that their business is Gucci.
Yeah, I don't really see how you can tell whether or not they're being genuine, or which companies are genuine and which aren't. But
I think you can tell. History can show you people being genuine. If you haven't done anything up to now, what makes me believe that you're being genuine about it? Like, it's taking you this long to do something. And honestly, I agree with what Gus is saying. Like, these are forward-thinking millennials in those positions. So they're like, listen, for your brand, if you want people, people, and they're paying attention to Twitter too as well. They're seeing what people are tweeting and talking about. Like, listen, this is what we've seen. If you want your business to stay afloat in these pandemic times, in these turbulent racial times, and you need to put out a statement. It doesn't hurt to just put out a statement. All people can do from a positive statement is to say, oh, wow, I can keep shopping with them because they care about my rights, even though back in your back of the mind, you don't feel that way. So I don't feel like it's genuine. I feel like people still need to be in that movement and shop at black businesses and keep their money in their community.
Because when who's it, Eric Garner, there was no mass email for Eric Garner. There was no.
That's who Cole protested for, Eric Garner. I was trying to remember the name.
Eric Garner, who I think he went to
Mike Brown's protest. Mike Brown's protest.
He went to Mike Brown. He also did Eric. I think Eric Garner is the one that is the gentleman that got chokehold, right? And got
he might have went to
that too. And he made a song about it too. He was on Jimmy Kimmel and he made a song about it, which is an extremely big platform made up of mostly Caucasian people.
Pap smear.
Very true.
But
Go ahead, Gus.
Yeah, they didn't. There was no mass email. There was no mass email or whatever about that either. So I think, yeah, sure. Call of Duty. We was on Call of Duty. They had Black Lives Matter on Call of Duty.
All 2K.
You exited the game.
I think they're doing all this because things are about to open, and they want to make sure that people are like, all right, when everything's out, I'm still gonna be using this. I'm still gonna be using that, because I think people are aware and they're thinking about. From just like No Name, her comments to the rappers that was on top was like, are y'all saying anything? It's probably the same sentiment that everybody just has about everything, every business that they contribute to. So businesses are probably like, all right, we got to say something to make sure we still get the bread.
And
you don't feel like there's a shift?
Shift of what?
And as far as at a certain point in our lives, you could say that the companies somewhat control the narrative. You could kind of say that. Companies at some point control the narrative. Now it's more so the people control the narrative. So a lot of people not messing with, Starbucks and people who have these type of ideologies that exclude black people. Now black people are starting to take a lot more pride in black. You know what I'm saying? We're starting to see it. So I'm starting to feel like there's a shift in where it's like, oh, you don't support us, we're not rocking with you. Or you don't support us, we're not rocking with you. Because you're starting to see that we don't need some of these companies. If you don't need our dollars if you're not going to support. And matter of fact, we don't even need y'all support. It should just be equality across the board. But if it's not going to be that, we don't rock with you.
I think the habit of just investing in our people is a new habit for most of us. When I say most of us, I'm not saying most of us. The new habit to invest in our own people is a habit that needs to be better. And hopefully this situation, coming out of it, we invest and put money back into our communities more than ever before.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you can jump in.
No. My apologies.
Cut me off.
No. I was wrong.
Now.
No, that was wrong of me. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, it's wrong. You do it all the time, but keep
No,
going.
I don't do it all. I know you're not talking. You had a
There
whole
we go.
clip of you doing that.
All
shit.
right, somebody talk.
Say, I ain't got nothing. You can go now. Proceed.
Nah, I don't want to go. I don't want to go because you told me. Bro. It's like nah. All I'm gonna say is all we gotta see is action. You know, I feel like with Starbucks, like you said with Starbucks, people only stop fucking with Starbucks because of something that happened with Starbucks. And Starbucks had multiple occasions where they fucked up. So it's a bad time to fuck up because of what's going on. So I think the people have made a command in putting the pressure on these businesses because now people starting to see that people are waking up. But I don't feel like it's genuine because I feel like at the end of the day, if somebody's genuine about something, they would have seen something like this. This has been a pattern for years. They would have said, they would have stopped. They would have done something as a company and be like, you know what? We don't stand for something like this. But they're waiting until everybody does it. So it doesn't seem genuine.
It can also be like, I'm not gonna put my neck on the line until I see everybody else putting their neck on the line. So like if one company stuck their neck out, they might get crucified for saying Black Lives Matter. Yeah. But if you see a bunch of people doing it, oh hell yeah, I always felt this way. You stick your neck out.
I think you hit the jackpot, Drew.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yo. So main topic for today's show is I came across a tweet the other day. And as I read the tweet, I thought about this because we talked about it previously on the show. And it's basically the timeline from your relationship leading to marriage. And this person's tweet, they wrote down the timeline. So I'm just going to go ahead and read this timeline, and I posted it on the page for everybody to see. So it says talking stage, 2 years.
Damn!
Right? Relationship stage is 5 years. That puts us at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Engagement, 3 years. We're at 10 years, right? Plan the wedding in 1.5 years and you get married. So we're looking at almost 12 years in a relationship process before you get married. Now, I was like, this is going to turn a lot of people's seats. I need to post this and see what people think because I always said the talking stage should at least be 1 year, at least, right? And I got criticism for that because everyone's like, oh, that's so long, so long. But I feel like it's valid to have a long talking stage. So I wanted to see what other people thought about how long you should be in a relationship before you get engaged, how long you should be engaged. And we got a lot of comments actually on the page, like a shit ton.
You want to read a shit ton of those comments?
Yeah, I'm gonna read some of them, but before
I got some in the DM.
I want to know what you guys think.
So
like, go first.
What I wrote was morning thoughts. What would you change about this? So some people change the whole shit up. And I seen some interesting numbers. So before we get to the comments, and we're gonna dissect some of these comments, but I just want to know what you guys think.
All right, I'm gonna say what I think about this list.
Talking stage, Drew, talk to me. What's up?
All right, talking stage. I feel like talking stage should be anywhere between 6 months to 1 year.
Okay.
I think within that year, you should know whether or not you want to make the advancement into a relationship, an exclusive relationship. That's just what I think. I don't think it takes 2 years for you to know whether or not you want to be in a relationship with somebody.
All right. So relationship stage.
Relationship stage is where it gets tricky for me because why you laughing? Why y'all smiling? You and Gus are like. Relationship stage is where it gets tricky for me because I don't feel like you can put a timeline on how long you want to be with someone before you want to marry them. I feel like that gets developed within.
What you think is appropriate? I don't want to hear no. It depends on the love. It depends on. I don't want to hear that. What you think is an appropriate timeline? Like I'm pretty sure. Like, do you feel like you're engaged to someone after dating them or being in a relationship for 4 months?
No.
Like, what's your like? Everyone has this like idea in their head. I want to hear your idea. I want to hear your number.
Anywhere from 3 to 6 years.
3 to 6. That's
Yeah,
okay.
3 to 6.
Okay. And
Three
then
six mafia.
3
how
to
long
6.
should you be engaged?
Engagement shouldn't take a long. I don't know much about it. Kyrie can speak on this, but
When you gonna do that? Like,
He has
no,
so
because
much experience.
because you're going through, you're engaged, you're going through planning the wedding. So I don't know how long it should take, but I don't see why an engagement leading up to the wedding should be a year and a half. Like, we engage, we plan it, let's get married. So I'd say from 6 to 8 months of planning, maybe 6 to a year.
Wait, so once you make that once you decide to get engaged, you're already starting planning the wedding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard that before too. It's like some people, they get engaged and then a little bit down the line they start to plan the wedding. But
Right.
I see what you're saying.
Because I want to speed this up.
Yo.
What's so funny?
why you gotta call me out, Drew?
All right, come on, y'all. Come on. Focus.
I believe that.
Talk to me, Gus. Talk to me.
So for the talking stage, I believe that it should be like 9 months to a year. All right. So I think the first 6 months, you know what I'm saying, you playing around this honeymoon stage and whatnot. After 6 months is when shit get real. That's when she starts saying you annoying and all that, blah, blah, blah. So I would say 9 months to a year, or just say 6 months to a year, agreeing with Drew. For the relationship part of it, how many years you should be in a relationship before getting engaged? I think infinity. But I'm serious
Oh, wouldn't that be sweet?
I think, to be honest with you, it's a tricky thing because only
you gotta give a number. I was trying to give the same shit.
Yeah, you could give your little description later. I want to know what number do you think is appropriate in this situation? If she says to you after 1 year, "Hey, we should get married," are you considering it?
No.
I just started getting in a relationship with you.
Okay. So tell me what number? What number?
We gotta go at least 5 to 10.
5 to 10. Okay.
What?
That's a big gap.
5 to 10.
5 to
Damn.
10 years.
Can I safely say 7 for you, Gus? Can I safely say 7?
7 for what?
7 years in a relationship before engagement.
That's what I say. All depends. Me right now getting it. All right. So me right now getting a relationship right now. 5 years is good. After the
5
year,
years.
after
5
the
years?
year of knowing you, 5 years.
Yeah. Okay.
And
And
then,
when you get engaged, how you feel about time being engaged? Do you think like what Drew said?
if I already agree to marry you, then like 1 to 2 years. 2 years. I say 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Who's next? Kyrie, you can wait a little
I got
bit.
one more. It says to plan a wedding. So to plan a wedding, that's another 3.
You just said that. You just said the engagement.
No, engagement and planning a wedding is 2 different things.
Yeah. For some reason, like what Drew was saying, once you get engaged, you should be comfortable to start planning your wedding. But some people, they get engaged and they stay engaged for a little while, like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, like it says here. And then they decide, hey, in the next year and a half, we're going to get married. Right? Like we're going to actually have our wedding. We're going to actually do the paperwork. Before Kyrie goes, let me hear Shake. Because Kyrie is
an expert.
He's near the end of his timeline.
He's in the process.
Yeah.
He is what you would say a grand master.
What the fuck, Gus? What?
So the talking phase, right?
Yeah.
The talking phase, I feel like could be 6 months to a year.
What y'all talking about?
What y'all talking about?
Hold on, wait. Come on, let him tell numbers. I want to hear
My bad.
What y'all talking about?
The talking phase should be 6 months. 6 months to a year. What was it? What was after that?
The relationship.
The relationship should definitely be, I say 3 to 5.
3 years.
3 years?
Yeah, 3 to 5.
years.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
3 to 5.
Okay.
3 to 5. What was after that? The engagement, right?
Yep. How long would you be engaged before you start planning your wedding?
Not too long. I say a year or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Year to 2 years.
And then like I feel like a year and a half. A year and a half, like planning the wedding. What you think?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I'd say a year, year and a half. A year and a half is not bad.
Yeah, year and a half isn't bad. Year and a
It
half
probably
isn't
takes
bad
a lot to
wedding.
go into it. You have so many. Well, when the expert gets to speak, but I'm sure there's so many different perspectives. There's so many different
I had a question
things.
before-
Kyrie, would
I have
you
a
like to
question
start?
I got a question before Kyrie goes. Now, in this talking phase, right?
That question ass nigga.
Hold on, wait. Let's hear his numbers before we go into detail. We're gonna start breaking down the comments that
All right,
people
go
say.
ahead.
So we're gonna say what the actual talking phase and all that. So
All right.
Kyrie, you can start. You
Y'all
can
wanna
start
know-
from whatever point in this list you want to start from. All right.
So the talking phase gotta be like 3 weeks.
It was love.
You know, maybe love at first sight. You know, hey, what a
Love
beautiful.
at first sight.
Now, honestly, I'm gonna
I'm emotional.
I say like 1 to 5 months. Like, you know, if I'm really interested in you, like, you know, I'm digging you, you know. I feel like 5 months, you know, maybe 6 months. Like, what could we possibly talk about for a year? Then I'm not just dating you. I gotta be dating other people for a year. Because
I'm not even gonna interject yet. You gotta keep
1 to
going.
5 months. Yeah. 1 to 5
You gotta
months.
keep going. I'll go after.
That might be a little bit too
No,
much.
don't switch your answer. You gotta stand your ground.
You see my guy right there. I'm allowed to switch. All right.
You gotta stand your ground.
Relax. I'm go with 1 to 7 months.
Oh God.
Too
Making it less interesting now. You know damn well you've been 1 to 5. Go
He
ahead.
threw one holiday in that bitch. All right, let's go.
You never know. Something may happen. All right, so then I feel like relationship for me, I'm not saying for me per se, but
What?
I'm not gonna do that. But
What are you talking about then?
I'm talking.
You're saying you're not talking about your relationship now.
Yeah,
Just the
okay,
ideal.
gotcha.
The ideal.
Gotcha.
Just the ideal. Yeah.
Okay, 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
An engagement is a year to a year and a half. But that talking phase, I feel like does not have to be a year long. Like, that's a whole year. Like, what could I possibly have to talk to you about? Unless I'm dating other people.
Exactly. There you go. Ding, 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 ding.
All right,
You said it.
all right. Before we get there. Okay, engagement.
I just said a year and a half.
For
I feel
engagement?
like honestly, I used to be very like conservative, like, you know, maybe 2 years. But if you really think about it, it really shouldn't be that long. It all depends on where you are financially and the type of wedding you want to have, and you know, like how you want to do things and stuff like that. You know, if you both can plan very well, it really wouldn't take you long. And it also depends on the date you pick. You know, you say you pick somewhere next year, you know, it has to be comparable for you and how you're going to plan it, invitations. It's a whole process that goes into it. So I think a year and a half, you know, could be a really good time because it gives you a buffer for cases like pandemic situations like this.
Right.
So
Okay.
you know,
My man thinking about pandemics in the future. I like that.
you know, I was ahead of the game. You feel me? I was
Yeah.
crazy.
All right.
I was whoo.
All right.
Oh,
Where do we
Clip,
start?
boy.
Where do we start?
Go ahead, Austin.
Oh yeah. All right. Let me give my my number, my breakdown.
Like 3 years talking, you know.
Talking stage. You already know me. 1 year deal, baby.
1 year,
I'm
1 year poppy.
Yeah. I think a year and a half is like a good top, like max for the talking stage. I have my reasons. Relationship. 5 6.
7 years.
7 is pushing it.
Wow.
5, 6, I feel like is a solid number. 7 is kind of pushing it. Engagement, I feel like you should be engaged, let's say a year. I mean, yeah, I'll say a year to 2 years the most. And then you start planning, a year and a half to plan, get your finances right, get your location down pat, get your, all that. Yeah, so I mean the big
Wait,
thing.
sorry to cut you. I'm gonna cut you off real quick. But you said you're gonna be engaged for 1 to 2 years and then you start planning it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have an 8-year relationship and a 2-year engagement?
Yeah, he's gonna have like an 11-year overall. So he's pretty much agreeing with the post.
Long time.
Because the post adds up to like 11, 12 years.
If you
almost 12.
If you started this thing young, you good. That's why it gets tricky as you get older.
Yeah.
All right, but wait, before we get into that part, why is it that all right, what is your reasoning behind a year and a half of talking?
Yeah, who said a year and a half of talking?
A year to a year and a half.
A year to a year and a half. I feel like a year and a half is like max. And the talking stage is, think of it as the foundation of your relationship, right? For that first 2-3 months, y'all still strangers. 4 or 5 months, y'all a little bit know each other, right? Y'all start to understand each other's habits. Y'all start to understand how each other moves around the different seasons of the year, right? Y'all see how each other reacts with, like, or interacts with their family. You could tell if they're a family person when the holidays come around. You could, like, you start to learn this person, right? I feel like a lot of people, if you decide, let's say in the first 3 months, y'all talking, this person can be talking to someone else, right? That year will most likely, if that person throughout, let's say month number 9, this person is like, hey, I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to cut everybody off. I'm going to dedicate the next few months just to this person, right? And it could be on anyone else. It could be on anyone's timeline. I mean, they could be talking to each other from the beginning, but you never know.
Right.
So you want to be sure that you have a strong foundation before you start to build your relationship. And I feel like a lot of people with relationships, they fail because they don't have that strong foundation where they don't really know the person that they're dealing with, because they jump that stage too fast.
So you don't think that
I disagree with you, Austin.
I understand.
Y'all
but
saw
I'm saying,
that, right?
Now with
Gus was talking, Kyrie. So don't tell me you disagree with me when Gus got to talk.
My bad, you right.
I mean, even though Gus probably disagree with me too, but
no, I'm just gonna ask you a question personally. You don't think you think building a strong foundation comes from time? You don't think it could be just off of the types of people they are, them being honest with them being honest with themselves, allowing themselves to basically be real with each other, cutting that time in half. So basically,
I feel like I feel like this is my deal with time. Time is very important. I don't feel like you can cut out the time aspect in a relationship. I don't think you should cut it out. Why? Because if you try to squeeze everything in such a short, you're gonna miss something. You to be a doctor, you're in school for years, bro. Years. How many doctors is coming out after 2 years? Why? Even if they could practice and study all that material, right, and knock it out in 2 years, you think they're gonna be a good doctor? Nah, they miss something, right? Time. I feel like time is important when you're building something.
But what I'm saying is, it's not the fact that okay. I'm only saying it depends on the people. Some people, if 2 people connect that are like, what can I say?
All right, so
hold on.
I think I know what you're trying to say. All right, case by case scenario. There may be some cases where the people, they vibe, they get along, they click, they right away, they want to start moving fast, and it does.
No, that's
work.
what I'm not. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm not saying. I'm not talking about moving fast. It just happens. Like, I'm not saying that, yo, we should get married. Nah, it's just like this relationship that I'm talking about, it was a natural progression.
Permission to jump in and help you out, Gus.
Huh?
Permission to jump in and help you out.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Tag me in.
Yeah.
All right. So
Hey, yo.
I think this question is gonna kind of go what Gus was saying. What if everything that you just named for learning about someone in a year and a half, you somehow by accident knew all about that, how they are with family, what type of person they are, how they live, how you vibe. What if all of that you learned in 6 months?
How do you learn that all in 6 months?
What if it just happened like that? What if you guys were in
If-
positions? What if you guys were in
what-
positions to where, like,
Let me ask you a question.
uh,
Around what time of the year do you think everyone is more family oriented? What time of the year do you think most families get
Thanksgiving,
together?
Christmas?
Okay, now if you started talking to this person in January, are you making it to that? No, you're not going to see what that's like.
Yeah, but what if you
What
were
if
able?
what if you get to that 12th month and you realize, like, holy fuck, this person is not a family person. This person is shit towards their family, or this, like,
I get that, but what if you get to that 4th month and you just so happen to be invited to something to where their family's gonna be there, and it doesn't have to be Thanksgiving, but you just there and you're in their house and all their family is over, and you see, like, oh wow, they interact nice with their family, and this is month 4. It's already out the way. You ain't gotta wait till Thanksgiving. You already see it.
so month 4 is going to be your determining month. That 1 month.
Let me
I'm
yo,
not,
tag me in, please. I got Austin. I'm
yes.
gonna make him go a stoop down. Pause.
Well, it's not.
What?
It's not about. I'm gay as fuck. It's not about going against me right now. It's about our opinions on the timeline. I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. But I got a valid fucking point here, man.
Hey, look at this. All right, this is what I was gonna say.
All right. Who want to read a comment?
I'm gonna say that. Shit, you made me forget what I was gonna say. Now I remember. So
I have nothing to say.
I was gonna say that, like, even after you build this so-called foundation that you're talking about, which you said time is the main key in building that foundation, because you don't think that a strong foundation can be built in a short amount of time because of, I guess, seasons, right? My rebuttal to your statement is that, damn, it's right here. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. It doesn't guarantee. There's no guarantee.
Oh, there isn't. I know that. There's no guarantee.
That's just his timeline.
You're talking
I'm
about.
not saying if you spend.
Timeline is trash.
I'm not saying if you spend 1 year building a foundation, you're gonna have 100% successful relationship, marriage, right?
Mm.
I'm saying your chances may be a little bit higher. Your chances of it failing after 2 or 3 years may be a little bit higher.
Yeah, I think
because
so.
you caught onto something.
It's possible.
before. Yeah, bro.
It's possible.
I mean, it's.
But at
it's
the end
just
of the
my
day,
opinion.
that's what he's comfortable with. Like, that's what reassures him with the relationship. He wants that 1 year to 1.5 just to make sure. Because I've definitely been like, after 6 months, all right, you my girl now. And then after, when that year hits, I'm like, fuck, why did I do this? You know, like, it happens. So I understand. I could get that.
The funny thing is, the funny thing about these timelines is you can always end the relationship with any of those moments. You can find something out about your shorty. So if I waited 2 years to talk and then I decided to cuff it after 2 years, the first 3 months of the real relationship, I'm like, yo, this is trash. I'm out. If I got into a relationship after 3 months of talking, I got into a relationship after 3 months. And maybe 5 years, I'm like, oh, this shit tough. Then I get engaged to her and realize, oh, she ain't shit.
If you spend 2 years with a person and then in the first 3 months that you start your relationship, right? If you spend 2 years and then in the first 3 months of your relationship, you decide, I don't want to be with this person. What the fuck were you doing in those last 2 years that you didn't realize would have came up in the next 3 months?
Yo, I'm telling you, man, things happen. That's all I'm gonna say, man. You learn the whole timeline in general. If we erase the names for now, we erase the names just for that 1 second. The whole time you're still learning who you with. Like you're still learning. Every year or every day, every minute you with your girl, you should learn something new. And if you're not learning nothing new, every minute you with your girl, you doing something wrong. You doing something wrong.
Okay,
I don't think every
as-
minute you going. Every minute I want to talk now.
Okay,
Every minute.
I just wanted to be clear that Gus. Before you go, I just really want to be clear. Gus wants a shorter talking stage. That's what it is, right?
No, I'm not saying that.
All right, you were arguing that though the whole time.
Shake.
No.
All right, so my question.
Saying that. Shake, my bad.
Yeah.
My question was, all right, during the so-called talking phase, right? Are we talking to multiple people or just focusing on one person?
And I kind of started to explain that. I feel like you don't know who that person is talking to within that first 3 months, 4 months, right? You don't know, right? And if
Well,
you're
what if my fault? What if they tell you that they're only talking to you? You're not talking.
They lying. They lying.
They lying, bro.
They lying. I always assume they lying.
Yeah.
I look like a fool. You take me for idiots? Idiots? Idiots?
No, sir. Please.
Drew, stop.
You take me for idiots?
Drew, you sound like a Haitian Arabic. Don't do that again.
But Sheikh, if you and the person that you're gonna start talking to are gonna commit to a statement like that so early on, right? This person that you don't know, that's a big step to trust them right off the bat, right?
Absolutely.
Now you don't know. Now let's say this person is talking to somebody else that you don't know about. At what point do you feel like you secured it? At what point do you feel like it's only you now? Right? Do you feel like you could feel like that after 4 months?
No, not at all.
Are you more confident at the 10th, 11th month, and then you know, like you start to move on like that?
True. I understand that. But my thing is like, all right, so in the talking phase, should you be talking to multiple people? Because I understand talking to one person and feeling that one person, but it's also a case where you might meet somebody else. Now, if you're talking to somebody already and then somebody else comes along, there's no relationship solidified. So is it cool for you to be like, you know what? Let me entertain somebody else as well. Let me have options.
Me personally, in the talking phase, I let it be known I am possibly talking to other people. There's no if we're in a phase where we're still getting to know each other, then I'm perfectly fine with you along with myself getting
Talking
to know other people. Exactly. I don't have a problem with that.
I definitely broke up with somebody in the talking phase.
What?
Just because they were talking to somebody else. I was like, you cheating already.
Why not just
After how many months?
After 4 months.
Months or weeks, nigga. What the fuck?
Weeks? How you gonna stop talking to someone because you start talking to her for a couple of weeks and you found out she was talking to someone, you got mad?
It felt like, well, she treated me like I was the only one for her, but that was a lie. I couldn't get over it.
Exactly.
Listen, that shit is important. You gotta weigh this shit, you know? You can't throw all your eggs in one basket.
In one basket.
You gotta be talking to one and talking to another and talking to another.
So all my 3-monthers out there, just take it easy, bro. Ain't no rush.
Oh no,
I'm looking at Kyrie on the street.
I'm rushing. Right, I'm making my way downtown. You know.
Clearly.
All right. Come on. Let's read some comments.
All right. Let me read. Who's gonna start?
You got it open, Drew?
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
We got
So
7
hold on. Let me. Huh?
So we got 7 minutes. Let's pick the best couple.
All right.
All right, so I feel like most of the people were saying what this person's saying right here. One person said, "I would definitely say I wouldn't
Say
mind
the
talking."
name. Say the name. Say the
I
name.
didn't save the names.
No, he
Oh,
said.
you copied it?
I screenshot it and I took the names out. Why do we need the
So,
names?
Oh, he's
so,
talking about from the
Oh.
page, from our Instagram.
Yeah, I was gonna give him a little
Let's talk
shout
about
out,
from the Instagram.
but Drew
Oh.
said, "Fuck y'all, we crossing out your names."
Now I didn't know if,
Let's-
and you know, some people said some little personal stuff in here, so I didn't want to.
All right. I mean, if they commented on a motherfucking social
It was
media,
through my
Well, shout
DMs.
out-
It was through my
shout
DMs.
out-
Oh,
Yeah.
you
Well,
got it.
shout
Bet,
out
bet,
Queen.
bet, bet.
Shout out Queen Lean. Shout out I forgot her name. It was Nurse something. Shout out everybody
Taniqua.
that was in the comments basically that participated. Shout
Yeah,
out
let me-
everybody.
I was actually gonna read from but I'll read from the comments now.
Yeah, I didn't know you had DMs. You lit, bro.
I sent them I posted them all on our story.
Chill.
Whatever,
Don't say all that.
because you got a fan page. Shut up.
So Nurse Mighty said, absolutely not. That's being with someone for 10 years before marriage. Y'all would have had to met in your early 20s for all that. It shouldn't take 10 years for a guy to know he wants to marry me or vice versa, especially not as a dope.
Honestly, I feel like at that point you might as well not even get married.
Why you say that?
Be like Jim Jones and Chrissy. You know?
Wait, at what point?
If you're already 10 years in and y'all not married, like, I mean,
Age does play into factor.
Marriage.
I'm not saying age, but I'm just saying, like, you've been with somebody for 10 years. Like, do you really want to get married, or do you want to just be in a relationship? Like, if that's it's nothing wrong with not getting married. I'm just saying,
but that should be their choice if they want to get married or not. Like,
I'm not
saying if they together if they choose to be together 10 years, both parties have to be comfortable with it. So down the line, eventually, like if one person says, "Hey, you know what? I want to tie the knot," nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, I ain't coming to your wedding. Y'all already been together 10 years. You might as well just not be married." They want to make it official.
I think age does play a big factor, because if you've been with someone for 10 years and you started dating when you were 16 years old and you're 26 now, that's a big difference than if you're 30 years old and you're dating until you're 40. I think there's
How is that different?
Because
did the love die?
No, but the thing about women is they want security. So when you don't,
the love die? That's what I asked. Did the love die? You can't.
It's not
tell me
about
what
the
woman
love.
you want. You're not a woman. You're not a woman.
I'm reading. Nigga, did you read the comments?
You're not a woman.
Did you read the comments? Nigga, you defending this shit hard, brother.
She's not every woman. She's not every woman.
Most of the women in here did say that. But I'm saying when you get to a certain age, most women are looking for security. They want to get married and they want to have children if they don't have children already. That's most women. That's what most women in the comments are saying.
As women get older,
they are working under a timetable, so they can't have kids when
you don't have to tell me about the biological clock, Drew.
All right, so then why you acting like you don't know? So why you acting like you don't know?
I'm not acting like I don't know anything. I just said that 10 years may work for some people. There's some people who have kids later in life, so we can't just group like this is a problem with the damn grouping. Huh?
What?
You can't put everybody in a group. You can't put everybody in a group.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
Can I do this? Can I say what a majority of the people who commented said? Because we had a lot of comments and a lot of people who gave it. Majority of them said the same shit that I just said.
You can do the majority.
Nigga. Engagement is no more than 1.5 years, because the whole time that is the planning process. Oh, I skipped something.
Yeah, you did.
Someone said, it's Simasola. She said, talking stage 6 months, relationship 5 years, engaged, planning, wedding 1.5 years, married till death do us part.
You see that? That's a timeline I could go for.
Queen Lee said, engagement is no more than 1.5. The whole time, that is the planning process. They're not separated. Talking stage, lasting 2 years is too long. That's how problems arise. Depending on the age, you should be able to decide whether or not you want to take someone serious by 8 months, no more than a year.
I feel like if you're invested in a relationship, no little problem should make you think twice unless you're not unless you feel like it's too big of a problem to work out. There's going to be problems in every aspect of your relationship, whether you're talking
Look,
or
someone said 4 to 5 months max. I was dating other folks for 2 out of those 4 to 5 months just to see what's up, right? Now,
That's talking.
yeah. So basically, they took them serious for probably 3 of those months, right? But now the person that you talking to, imagine they was doing the same thing that you was doing. Let's say they just started talking to somebody else. Now that you taking them serious, they're not taking you serious because they entertaining someone else. You have to let all of that shit play out. You let it all play out, and then y'all vibe and y'all come to agreement like, yo, this is the person.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Drew, some of the people that was in the comments, how many of them were in relationships?
Why are you asking me, nigga? I don't know all the people in the comments. I know 2 people in there. They were both in relationships.
They're in relationships now.
I believe so. Why you ask? And a lot of the people that hit me on my DMs are single. A lot of them.
And I can see how age plays a factor.
Age plays a big factor.
But I don't think because of your age, you should rush into a relationship and a marriage and a family and all of that stuff just because you feel like you're running out of time.
All right, Austin, if you're a woman and you're 36 years old and you know that you don't have much time to have kids safely because you can die or the kid can come out with some type of defect, you're not going to feel a rush to start a family and have kids and get married?
But are you rushing to a healthy family and a healthy relationship and a healthy family?
It don't matter. With the family.
I mean, you're 36, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you had time, right? Obviously.
Yo, you missed your shot. It's what you're saying. You missed your shot. That's what you're telling these people.
Nah, I'm not saying you missed your shot, but
yeah, you are.
what you said.
But what happened? If you feel like you're at a time in your life where you have to rush, right? You're in your later 30s, early 40s, right? And you really want to rush to start planning. And Drew was saying, I was saying, basically, y'all missed your shot. This is the reason why I'm saying they probably spent their 20s and their 30s going through weak-ass foundations in their relationships.
True.
Oh, that's it?
And it's basically, bro, do you know how many relationships people be in?
Yeah, a lot. And they always hop into one and then another and then another.
And then next thing you know, you're of age, like you're older.
That's true.
But if you would have took your time in the beginning, right? You would have had a better product in the end. That's my point.
Maybe. There are also some people who've been in like 10-year relationships and it don't work out, and then they find themselves broken up and in their late 30s.
And that's the thing too.
And then they date somebody within 6 months, they're engaged. So
yeah, like Cassie.
Like 10 years in a relationship, like your relationship, you must have been ignoring signs of toxicity or something. Like 10 years and then that shit goes to shit. It's like you are overlooking something those last years.
But
or maybe that person just changed in 1 year.
People change, man.
Facts.
You know, time, like you spend some 10 years with somebody, then boom, they're not interested anymore.
That's why you should spend at least a year with them so you can see how they change. They don't change enough in 3 months, Kyrie. I'm just saying.
Shoot, you right, but still, I'm going through. I'm with it.
All right.
I don't know. This is an interesting topic. You know, everyone's gonna have their own opinions. There's only gonna be one right one. You know. But
there was some other comments that I read that kind of were going against the grain of what everybody was saying. Like, not everybody felt like a timeline was important. So let me just read. It's like 2 of the comments.
Yeah.
So
I didn't see that. Tell me.
Today?
Hold So one person said, just meet, vibe, and let things develop instead of worrying about a timeline. And people responded to me and they were like, she's bugging. Or whoever said that was bugging. There was one more. What y'all think about that?
That's not
I mean-
that's not wrong at all. I don't feel like that's wrong. I feel like you can meet somebody, vibe with somebody, and then it develop into something. But during that whole vibe, you could really learn about that person. Because if the vibe is good enough, you'll take the time to really like, oh, you into this? Well, I'm into that. Like, really get to know each other.
Yeah.
If you know,
And another person commented and said, so she basically asked me, she felt like most of the people that were commenting weren't in relationships. And I asked her why she said that. She said, because people are always experts on things they've never been through. LOL. I think that you have to learn to love and grow apart and together before you consider marrying someone. Marriage isn't just a switch that solves all problems or addresses all annoyances. It's a conscious, lifelong decision that two people decide when is right.
true.
What
I
she
feel
said,
like
Google that?
if you take the
That shit
time,
sounded perfect.
if you take the time to get to know somebody, you could avoid getting a divorce.
Yeah, possibly.
Divorce
On
is
the-
inevitable no matter how long you get to know somebody.
Damn.
You said it's
Oh,
inevitable.
you know what? I'm sorry. That's the wrong thing to say.
You said it's inevitable?
I
Yeah.
know. That's the wrong thing to say. I mean, what I meant to
Did
say.
you just say divorce? No, I'm just playing with you.
That was the wrong thing to say. My bad. I meant to say I feel like no matter what situations, you can get to know somebody and shit could change over the time period. You can get a divorce.
Circumstances, money, all that stuff,
Yeah,
life
things
situations,
change.
people cheating, blah blah.
Growing apart.
Thank you, Gus. Thank you, Gus.
Growing apart. People don't see the need to, like, I feel like people don't find it as important to work through your marriage, to work through your troubles as they did in the past, because there's so much more options out there.
True.
It's easier to connect with people. So I think people don't see divorce as much as what it used to be.
Shoot. I feel like people need to also like understand like having your own time to yourself, because even in that, like, because I know like in the beginning stage of a relationship, you want to be with each other all the time, you want to see the person all the time, talk to the person all the time, but if you don't have that personal space just to give yourself time to breathe, give yourself time to miss that person, that's how like things get annoying, like in that space, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Gus, you have something to say?
No, I agree with Shay.
I mean, the comments you said about, the person who said that you shouldn't think about time limits and stuff. Like I said before, I feel like time is important. Like I don't think you should not think about it. Like
But time is so important to her. She don't want to think about it. That's how important it is to her, right there. I respect that.
You fucked me up with that one.
What?
That nigga Austin rolled his eyes.
You stupid.
I mean, I think if you guys are young, y'all got your shit together individually, and you may not know when you want to get married. You may not know, like, you just vibing. You're just open-minded about certain things. Like, if you're interested in somebody, but y'all not thinking about like the next levels of a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just that particular situation. That's just them. I wouldn't look down upon it.
Imagine how much freedom a couple has where they both don't care for kids and don't care for marriage. Like,
They live life.
how they don't have no pressure. They just going through their relationship, enjoying each other's company or not enjoying each other's company.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Do you think having kids and getting married is pressure?
Absolutely, especially on the women's side, because most women feel the pressure to have kids before a certain age. They don't want to be in 38 having children.
Yeah, I mean, guys have pressure too by having kids as well, or not really pressure. It's more like what we want to do. We don't want to be old having kids.
Why not? A man could be. Why you think those 45, those old ass men be coming up with these little 22-year-old girls? It's because of that reason. We can spread our seeds and have kids at whatever age we want.
Would you rather? I'm asking you personally. Would you rather be 50 years old with a 20-year-old, or would you rather be 70 years old with a 20-year-old?
Either way, I'm still paying for that 20-year-old, still raising his ass. So.
Okay. So it don't matter to
What we
you.
gonna do?
But some people think about that.
When you're 70, you can't chase behind a kid as much as you think.
What am I chasing after my 20-year-old for?
I'm not saying 20-year-old. I'm just saying, like, if you're 65.
I'm still chasing that. I'm still chasing. I could run at 65. Like, what? I just be, I'll be doing that, but I can still run.
Why you be doing that? Get that checked out now. Niggas, I'll be like, yeah.
You know when you're old. What movie? What movie was it? Was it The Godfather?
I'm home.
Nah, I think it was some movie. I want to say it was The Godfather, where he lived to such a certain age. He accomplished so much shit, and then he ended up falling over and dying chasing his grandson at like whatever age. I don't know why I brought that up, but
yeah, that was irrelevant.
Fuck you,
Good guys in them lives.
I've been thinking about this damn ice cream this whole time. I'm about to go eat my ice cream.
All right, let's close it up. Guys. So final thoughts?
Final thoughts is
close it up.
There are ideas, and then there's reality. Today we discussed our ideas, but don't forget to think about these ideas when you live in your reality. I'm Austin Felix. Peace, man.
That was trash.
That was smooth as fuck.
That was
smooth as fuck.
One thing just now. Nigga said, I'm a reality.
Let me hear you do better right now. Go.
I'm a Austin. I'm a Austin. Peace out.
All right, my final thoughts.
Let me hear you close it right here.
No, Gus, please, Gus, please.
Close it right now. Shut up.
Please.
Shut up, Drew. Are you ready for this amazing speech? Okay. What you just witnessed was different perspectives talking about timelines to progress in a relationship. Now, everybody has their own perspective on what's right and what's wrong. There's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. All right? It's all opinions. At the end of the day, though, in reality, it's all up to the partner.
You're already taking too long. You're taking too long.
I just put it.
You're taking too long already.
I think I put a period right there and I'm done.
Period.
You want to say I'm taking too long when it was already a period there?
I didn't even hear the period. I didn't hear it.
I slapped the man bun off you, man.
All right, this was your Mans in them live.
Fake ass laugh.
Look, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So pick the right one.
Nigga, you lagged out. What? Nigga said, men lie, women lie.
All right, Gus. I told you, leave me alone, Gus. You want to keep playing?
Yeah, I thought I was the only one that seen the lag. That's crazy.
This nigga shit lagging the whole episode. Nigga be like this. Kyrie, any final thoughts?
Hey, man.
Kyrie was quiet for the last hour.
Love who you want to love. The timeline don't matter. I just feel like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Take risks.
If it's meant to be, it'll be. Baby, just let it be.
My real final thought is it's good to have. It's good. I'm learning it's good to have a timeline, but it's also good to have a little leeway in that timeline because that's reality.
It's also important to make sure you both are on the same page because if you both are not on the same page,
I said that.
Yo, I can't believe this. Anybody who's listening or watching this right now, they 100% know that I had the best outro because that was, I don't know what that was.
Wow, we still on the outro.
Nigga,
that was just a poor performance. That was
all I want to say is, like Kyrie said, love who you love.
This nigga lag again?
Love who you love.
All
Love
I
who
want to
you
say
love.
is,
Why you look so dark?
Oh,
Like,
boy.
All right, let's
If the annoying orange, the WB frog, and Gumby are done talking, I would like to finish my statement, okay? With your big old horse teeth. Anyway.
you forgot
That's
one
what
person.
Nah, Kyrie cool. Anyway.
Brother.
I just want to say that, you know, just protect your energy and like get to know somebody first before you really invest your all into them. Because at the end of the day, you're really taking a risk if you just, you know, just jump in without trying to get to know somebody first. So take your time. You always giggling. What's wrong with you?
Shake
Donkey teeth?
I agree with what you would say. That was smooth.
yo, Gus, and the
Yo, I'm dying,
So-
bro.
go ahead,
Hey,
Gus.
All right, guys.
All right.
Oh shit.
You just finished watching your. You just finished watching your man to the block. When your man's Gus the third.
I'm your man's better. Hello.
Your man's Austin Felix.
I'm your man's Kyrie.
Oh, he froze it again. Oh!
He lagged out. He lagged all the way out.
Oh man.
I'm your man. You know
I'm
Shakespeare.
You know.
I'm dead, bro.
Come and kick it with the coolest young man you can sit in. Going through some shit will get you right, come and listen. Y'all ain't messing with the starting five, who you kidding? Yeah, it's your mans and them, it's your mans and them. Ladies, you can pull up, we could talk, give advice. Fellas, we could laugh, we could joke about life.